Hey fam, I just wanted to explain what heart work is and what it means to me. It's you're going through things that are covert, or you're going through things of abuse or neglect or anything that causes your pain to grow in your life, where you're trying to manifest better things in your life. And instead of being allowed to work these better things in your life, you're running into these supposed white hearts out here of good heart, right? But on the contrary, they're not very good-hearted or of white heart or good intention. So they love bomb you. It's covert, malignant narcissists that like to extend their kindness in a form of the very demonic. So this insults your intelligence, or your normal intelligence, because much of that same degree, I've been in situations being poisoned. I don't know if there's many people that are gang stalked who have been poisoned to these levels that I have, but you know the truth for yourself. You don't need somebody to validate your concern there. You learned it through patterns of abuse, or anything else that you've had to learn through patterns of abuse. What heart work is working on your betterment, your better heart, your better life, and working and channeling that type of heart speak, I call it. And what heart speak is just your heart's language that you maybe at times were unaware of what it would sound like in English language, because English, the language, is very phonetically changed, where we not only have like 3 separate types of English. There's regular English, and then there's Ebonics English, which is just a more ghetto form of language. And I'm not condemning it. There's a lot of good people that really just were raised around Ebonics and that type of language. But then we also have Black's Law Dictionary terms of the normal English terminology of these words, which is all about trickery and deception, and twisting the truth, and fabricating institutions to basically lie over a person's natural character so that they can steal away that true heart's language, the heart speak. So oftentimes these trickeries of deception, if you will enhance for confusion, frustration, anger, pain, rage, and the list goes on. So if you're caught up in that confusion and all of that rage and anguish, oftentimes what people end up doing is they lash out, and they end up lashing out at the wrong people, or they end up just lashing out in general and creating a bigger mountain of them to utilize Black's Law English to indemnify further crimes inside of your life, or indemnify their own crimes, to push crimes upon you, the natural man, the natural person that deserves their origination of light. True white heart, true goodness, true natured kindness, not a deception, not a fabrication, and not lies upon lies. So, if you're in these ways, it's sometimes very hard to see your way out of what's being done to you, right? And so, in order to figure that out, what I would recommend people doing is heart's work, where it's to work on your heart, work on your betterment, write things down, journal, keep an open diary of what your experiences are, because if you're in a position like I was, just for the leading example of what's happened, is I believe more than 2,000% it was calculated arsenic poisoning. But beyond that, it wipes away your availability to remember things and utilize the muscle of your memory and utilize the muscle of your mind in a normal fashion. And so without your ability to utilize that muscle in any kind of normal fashion, you're instead unable to see the ways that true crime is committed against targets to this level. And not to mention, there's the county going by, there's other people that are around every time I leave, come home, go somewhere, help, try and do my life, you know. So people can consider it gang stalking or however they want to see it, but what it truly is organized crime. It's organized criminals that are trying to indemnify their crime by taking over my life, my actual ability of walking how I would walk, choosing to live how I would choose to live. And they're just trying to get away with it. But they're making a mockery out of Jesus Christ. They're making a mockery out of the Lord. They're making a mockery out of human life. In that form of actually considering, you know, for yourself in these situations, or for myself in this situation, the availability for me to live my own life. They're stealing it away. They're hijacking my life. So, I'm speaking out about this because I would really like people to learn their own hearts' language. What is your heart telling you? What is your heart showing you? And if you could make it in an English poem or song or a writing, a speech, what would your heart's language be saying? What would your heart actually speak? What would it say? And it doesn't matter if people want to believe you or not, because the truth stands alone. The truth will stand alone no matter what devil's little degree they want to play in and what kind of devil's work that they want to enhance in the world. You know, because obviously it's running amok on people's life. They don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but they don't. They don't care about human life. They don't care about your endeavors. They don't care whether or not you're being poisoned or not. They don't care whether or not your performance goes down. They don't care whether or not your money is depleted. They don't care about anything. They side with the devil. They side with their demons, and that's what the demons get a rise out of. They don't go into bed with their lover. and make love. What they make there is war. And it's a war over spirits in a spiritual way. Very ugly, decrepit, evil, dark, murky. And that's what these people would rather side with than to make love, to make true love, to be in a situation. You get married and you make love to have babies. You make love to build a family. So the family is under attack big time because these hearts are just so murked out here in the world. They're like, oh, world, oh, world's decree, sciences, and they're like, it's like the evil gets them off. That's what gets them off. Just evil, engrossed, encapsulated hearts. So they don't understand love. So that's what my heart's language and my heart speak is, trying to not only dig out to be able to teach, but it's also trying to stop the ways of this world's decrees, to be able to show forth that people would like to live their own lives, A, but B, they wouldn't be siding with these people that want to just make a mockery out of human life and human endeavors, specifically so they can get their jollies off or whatever blah blah gutter trash that it is, truly. So it's just good to know these things, because oftentimes these people just want to make a mockery out of good people that are just trying to live their life and do good things in the world, and not always being so murked out in this life to not be able to, live out their origination of what God would have been like forming you to be in their origination of sound mind and self-control and body and spirit in the womb, like when the Lord created you. Because the Lord created you to do beautiful things, not to live up in this world's decree of the evil and murky, so that you can get all murked out and you don't know where to go about the seriousness and heinous crimes that are persisting inside of life. And so, for myself personally, I would personally like to have a family, make a family, and live that family life. Not allow the state's pressures and what have you to be able to work up their own mission about, oh, the state has to take over here and the state has to take over there, and these 4 sentences are a felony for getting the 3,886,484 good things that the person has done. Just these 4 sentences, it's all we're focusing on. We're not focusing on what his dad did. We're not focusing on what happened to his sister. We're not focusing on what his proxy-made friendships did, or all the evils inside of the decree to work up this evil plan and plot over their lives. But that's what they do. They work up evil plans, and they plot upon people's lives, and it's just a sham. It's a shant. These hearts are all scanty, however you want to say it. They're all slanted. So anyway, that's my message for this one. Thanks for being here, and I hope that you do your hearts speak. Figure out your heart's language, and write it down to what it's saying in here, in English. Do your best. Thanks a lot.